Have you ever considered about what you use in your day-to-day life? About what it's made of? Maybe if it's recyclable. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michel, and I'm a senior here at Valencia High School, and I've been making pens for about 3 years. Now, I want you to consider your toothbrush. It's simple. It's a plastic stick with plastic bristles, usually used to clean your teeth. Though I'm sure many of you have used it to clean the nooks and crannies of your house. For example, the grout in your floor tiles. My point here is that it's easily recyclable, reused, repurposed. Now, people in my craft are called pen turners, which will make a little bit of sense later. And in order to make a pen, you have to start with a piece of material called a pen blank, which usually comes in one of 3 materials. Next slide, please. Plastic, wood, or a combination of both. Now, in order for this material to be started in its process of turning into a pen, it needs to be hollowed out. And because after it's been hollowed out, you need to then insert the pen tube. And the pen tube is a small, thin, hollow brass cylinder meant to go into the inside of your hollowed out pen blank, and it's meant to stabilize it and make room for the contents that will be added later. Now, in order to start the process in preparing this pen tube, you have to first score it with a piece of sandpaper. So this is so that the glue that we use adheres properly to the pen tube and also to the inside of the blank. Okay, go back. Go back, please. Thank you. Okay. Now, these blanks come in 4 shapes. There is square, circular, pre-started, and then other shapes like such as natural materials like horns. And so the shape and material is not really important to the pen except for the design, which is entirely important, but that's for later. And so, can you please, I don't know where it was. Right. Okay, so the blank has to be cut into halves, then hollowed, then have the pen tube. You have to click it twice because these are transitions. One more. Okay. Now, this is called CA glue, which stands for cyanoacrylate glue. It cures fast, and it's very strong for the amount that you typically use in a pen. So, after we have glued in the pen tube, it's finally time for the fun part, which is turning. Turning is where you begin to finalize the design of your pen. You carve out every chip, line, and divot with intention. Now, once you finish carving out your pen, you then need to move on to the second objectively most important part, which is sanding and polishing. Please. Thank you. Now, when you want to do sanding, you need to start at the lowest grit and sand your pen, but there comes a caveat when turning, because this is on a lathe. And a lathe is a machine that spins very rapidly at thousands of rotations per minute And so, when you sand initially, it creates scratches around the pen. But we don't want those in our final product. So you then need to sand laterally. Oh, that's not. Okay. You then need to sand laterally across the pen, typically with the grain, according if you were using a wooden pen. And so this gets rid of those initial scratches and keeps your pen looking nice and smooth. Now, continue these steps, and with each iteration, increase the grit of sandpaper until you're happy. If you're making a wooden pen, you also want to put a finish on it, typically satin or matte, or some combination of both, in order to protect the body and prevent it from rotting. Now, my point in all this is that With these pens, there can be millions of iterations made just from the material alone. Uncountable, combined with the different hardware and designs that you carve. Different hardware and designs that you carve. And from this, not only do you get a physical product of a pen, but also it comes with plenty of other benefits, such as you get the pride of being a creator and a maker. You have time for self-reflection, which becomes fairly obvious after you've been an experienced pen maker, because some parts of the pen making process can be very tedious. But an experienced pen maker, like myself, can make one in typically 3 to 4 hours. You also receive the ability to do a productive hobby, something to do with your hands. Pens, might I add, also make a great gift, as several teachers here at Valencia have been given a unique pen made by yours truly. Now, you may also choose to sell these pens. However, there is concern when doing this, because if you're making pens as a hobby, you don't want to make it into a job. Because if you make it into a job, then it takes all the fun and joy out of making something. But my overall point here today is that we want, I want you to make the connection that no matter who you are or what you are, where you come from or what you do, you will always have the capacity to make, do, or be something beautiful. Thank you.